So recently, the My Hero Academia Awards, also known as the 2017 Crunchyroll Anime Awards, gave My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness the title of Best Manga of 2017. And I thought, I've never heard of this. Since supposedly it's the greatest manga of the past year, maybe I should check it out. Well, having just finished it, I can say it's certainly interesting, and about as far away as you can get from My Hero Academia. Is it worth reading though? And does it deserve the title of Best Manga of 2017? Well, that's what I'll be discussing in this video. My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness is a mangaka's autobiographical account of dropping out of university, struggling with anxiety, depression, and loneliness, and coming to terms with her own sexuality. That probably all sounds depressing as hell, and yeah, the book isn't exactly a light read. But it's not a gloomfest either. While dealing with these very difficult topics, the author does occasionally drop in some humor, and we do get moments of hope too. Also, the way the protagonist and other characters are drawn is this chippy-ish style of art, and all the emotions are portrayed really vibrantly. This lightens things up just enough to let the reader get through what is a pretty painful story. The mangaka gives a journey into her mind, her thoughts, and her feelings throughout this process that is both very well structured and also very emotional. I am honestly impressed with how well she manages to capture her experiences and talk about some things that most people would never feel comfortable discussing. She manages to put us right in her shoes, and while I myself am a straight male who's never had mental health issues, I really empathized with her as I read through the story and felt myself rooting for her to somehow get things to work out in her life. Although I cannot claim to properly understand anything she was going through, I did feel it gave me even just a bit more insight into these issues, and that's far more than I can say about any other media I've watched or read on this topic. There were also some parts of the story that I felt I could really relate to, such as her anxiety about still being a virgin well into her 20s. Yeah. Given that was a worry for me until I got into grad school, that cut pretty close to home. God knows in the nerdy community how often the forever alone meme is tossed around, so I imagine some other people watching this video can also relate. The protagonist's nervousness around having sex and the awkwardness of the first time felt so true to my own experiences too. These are the type of experiences that tend to be made light of through humor or glamorized to the point where it bears little resemblance to reality, so I got a lot out of this story's down-to-earth depiction of them. Now, I've been really positive about the story up to this point, but I do have some complaints too. One is just that there isn't enough. The story only covers a small portion of the mangaka's life, only enough for 6 chapters, and I want more. It kind of gets you invested and then drops you off with an ending that feels hopeful but not quite finished. Obviously, this is a limitation of it being an autobiographical work, and there is a sequel, which one day may get translated into English. As it is though, it feels incomplete, and while unsurprising, it's still frustrating. My other complaint is that when first introducing how things, i.e. the eating disorder, depression, etc., started, we only get a single panel devoted to it. Possibly the author just isn't sure how everything started or isn't comfortable sharing it, which are both totally fair. But as a reader though, it does feel odd to hear things were going just great, then dropped out of university for unexplained reasons, and now everything is a train wreck. It just feels so abrupt. Anyways, my criticism can basically be summarized as, please satisfy my curiosity more, which is probably unfair given how much the mangaka has already shared. So, back to the original question. Is it worth reading? Well, it's certainly not something to kick back and relax reading while turning off your brain. That being said, it has characters that you'll really come to care for and a good exploration of difficult topics, so I do absolutely think it's worth checking out. Is it the best manga of 2017? Well, it's kind of hard to compare it to other manga because its structure is just so different. That being said, I would be more tempted to give the award to the first volume of The Promised Neverland, which I think is genius and was officially published in English in December of 2017, even though somehow it wasn't even nominated for this award. Anyways, what do you think? Have you read My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness and think it deserved the win? Do you think some other series got snubbed? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, thanks for listening. Cheers!